Radha Madhava Kunja
Madhava Kunja Bihari
Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari
Gopi Gana Girivaradhari
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari
Yashodanandana Brajadana Rangana
Yashodanandana Rajadana
Yashodanandana Brajadana Rangana
Yashodanandana Rajadana
Jamuna Tera Panatari
Natira Vanata
Jamuna Tera Panatari
Natira Vanata
Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Gana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Gana Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajadana Rangana Yashodanandana Brajadana Rangana Yamuna Tera Vanatari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada,
Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
That Vishnupada Brahma himself divided the chariot. As the Philosopher Sri Srimad Bhagavad Gita Bhaktivedanta Swami Sri Prabhupada Ki Jai, Anantakoti Vaishnava Ki Jai, Santad Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai, All glories to the assembled of the all glories to Shri Guru and gold. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Devaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 4, verse. See. Verse number 8. What verse? Where are we on? Anybody know the verse? I think it's 9. Verse 9.
8.
8. Today's 8. Okay. Devo Dhanasya Ajishtam
Devo Dhyana Shriyajam
Vidyaste Smrti Pishtapam
Adhyaste Master Pishtapam
Mahendra Bhavanam Sakshan
Mahendra Bhavanan Sakshan
Nimitam Vishwakarmana
Nirmitan Vishwakarmana
Shailakya Lakshmi Ayatanam
Trailokya Lakshmi Ayatanam
Ajuvasa Kilardhimat
Adyuvasha Kiladhiman
Devojanasya Justam
Devodhyana Shriyajishtam
Ajaste Smrti Pishtapam
Adhyaste Smatri Pishtapam
Mahendra Bhavanam Sakshan
Mahendra Bhavanam Shakshan
Nimitam Vishwakarmana
Nirmitam Vishwakarmana
Trailokya Lakshmi Ayatanam
Trailokya Lakshmi Ayatanam
Ajuvasa Kilardhimat
Adyuvasha Kiladhiman
Devojanasya Justam
Devodhyana Shriyajishtam
Ajaste Smrti Pishtapam
Adhyaste Smatri Pishtapam
Indra Bhavanam Sakshan
Mahendra Bhavanam Shakshan
Nimitam Vishwakarmana
Nirmitan Vishwakarmana
Trailokya Ayatanam
Trailokya Lakshmi Ayatanam
Ajuvasa Kilardhimat
Adyuvasa Kiladhiman Devodhyana Shriyajishtam
Devojanasya Justam
Adhyaste Smatri Pishtapam
Ajaste Smrti Pishtapam
Mahendra Bhavanam Shakshan
Indra Bhavanam Sakshan
Nirmitam Vishwakarmana
Nimitam Vishwakarmana
Trailokya Lakshmi Ayatanam
Trailokya Lakshmi Ayatanam
Adyuva Akhiladhiman
Ajuvasa Kilardhimat
Devodhyana Shriyajishtam
Devodhyana Shriyajishtam
Adhyaste Smatripishtapam
Adhyaste Smatripishtam
Mahendra Bhavanam Sakshan
Mahendra Bhavanam Sakshan
Nirmitam Vishwakarmana
Nirmitam Vishwakarmana
Trailokya Lakshmi Ayatanam
Trailokya Lakshmi Ayatanam
Adhyuvasa Khilardhimat
Ajuvasa Kilardhimat Deva Udyana
Devodhyana
of the famous garden of the demigod.
of the famous garden of the demigods.
Shriya
Shriya
by the opulence
by the opulences.
Chishtam, enriched, Adyaste, smart, remained in, Tri Pishtapam, the higher planetary system, where various demigods live. Mahendra Bhavanam, the palace of Indra, the king of heaven, Sakshat, directly, Nirmitam, constructed, Vishvakarmana, the famous architect of the demigod, Vishvakarma, Trilokya, of all the three worlds, Lakshmi Ayatanam, the residence of the goddess of fortune, Adjuvasa, lived in, Akila Didhimat, possessing the opulence of the entire universe. Translation. Hiranyakashipu, who possessed all opulence, began residing in heaven with its famous Nandana garden, which is enjoyed by the demigods. In fact, he resided in the most opulent palace of Indra, the king of heaven. The palace had been directly constructed by the demigod architect Vishvakarma and was as beautifully made as if the goddess of fortune of the entire universe resided there. Repeat after me. Hiranyakashipu, who possessed all opulence, began residing in heaven with its famous Nandana garden, which is enjoyed by the demigods. In fact, he resided in the most opulent palaces of Indra, king of heaven. The palace had been directly constructed by the demigod architect Vishvakarma and was as beautifully made as if the goddess of fortune and the entire universe resided there. From this description, it appears that all the heavenly planets of the upper planetary system are thousands upon thousands of times more opulent than the lower planetary system in which we live. Vishvakarma, the famous heavenly architect, is known as the constructor of many wonderful buildings in the upper planets, where there are not only beautiful buildings, but also many opulent gardens and parks, which are described as Nandana Devodhyana, gardens quite fit to be enjoyed by the demigods. The description of the upper planetary system and its opulences is to be understood from authoritative scriptures like the Vedic literatures. Telescopes and the other imperfect instruments of scientists are inadequate for evaluating the upper planetary system. Although such instruments are needed because the vision of the so-called scientist is imperfect, the instruments themselves are also imperfect. Therefore, the upper planets cannot be appraised by imperfect men using imperfect man-made instruments. Direct information received from the Vedic literature, however, is perfect. We therefore cannot accept the statement there are no opulent residences on planets other than this Earth. Om again to the Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Chaitanya Bhutale Swayam Rupa Dati Svavantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnava
Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahana Raghunatam Tam Sajivam Advaitam Sarvadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahaganadita Shri Shakhamritam Sham He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radhamatam Namaste Taptakanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanamosute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalparubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
That's what every materialist wants. Everyone wants like a really nice place to live. Even on this planet, they say they're within our own experiences, there are so many poor people and very poor people, but with practically nothing, who come to a rich part of their own country or to Europe or United States or wherever there's some rich people, and they see their beautiful houses and beautiful cars and everything, and they're so impressed. How could you not be impressed? Yeah, practically nothing, and these people seem to be living like demigods. Like in the morning, or any time of day, just for washing pots, we have hot and cold running water that you just open the tap and it comes in torrents as long as you want, as much as you want. And there's people, so many people in the world who have to walk like miles just to get a pot full of water. If they saw somebody taking a hot shower and just letting 50 or 100 gallons of hot water, perfectly good water, just go down the drain. There's nothing crazy. And they do. Okay. So this seems, so we live a relatively luxurious life for this planet. I know when I went to India last time, I was flying an Emirates airline, and the little things they show you on your screen in front of you about all the beautiful things they're building in Dubai, all the beautiful hotels. Or I don't know how much it would cost to stay there, probably $5,000 a night or something. Who knows how much it would cost? They're like incredibly gorgeous, and they're emphasizing how every little detail is perfect. There's a hundredth of an inch difference in the level of the one tile to the next tile. They have to redo the whole floor or something. And everything is made of the best stuff, but most expensive materials. But after all, it's just a pile of dirt and plastic coming from oil. There's nothing to it. It's still the same birth, death, disease, and old age. The same degraded animal activity is going on in the $1 billion hotel as there is in the poor man's house. It's the same stuff. So we look at we hear estimations or narrations like this of the heavenly planets with the gardens, and there, of course, the material opulence is, Prabhupada says here, thousands upon thousands of times more opulent than the lower planetary system in which we live. So it's still a material world. It's an upper planetary system, but it's thousands and thousands of times more opulent than it is than anything that the richest person on this planet has. The richest people on this planet would be considered paupers, poor people by the residents of the heavenly planet. So, from their point of view, what we consider to be opulence is just, it's nothing. It's nothing. Anyways, but from their point of view, from the point of view of what's the section in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, one of the devotees, there was a discussion, and one of the devotees was in the position of Narada Muni, or I forget, but one was talking about the glories of Dwarka, and the other one was talking about the glories of, Vrindavan. Who were the two?
Srivas Thakur
Srivas Thakur and,
was speaking in favor of Lakshmi Devi.
oh,
And Swarup Damodar
so the Damodar, Radha Krishna and Vrindavan. Yeah, and Srivas Thakur was glorifying Dwarka. So this isn't the heavenly planets. This is Dwarka time. This is spiritual world. It's like Vaikuntha. But there, it's not even material. It's not even things made of matter. Everything there is made of transcendental Vaikuntha opulence. Never mind thousands and thousands of times greater than here or there. You can't even put any kind of number on it where there's like, well, this is a million times better than Dubai. It's most famous, most beautiful place, or a billion times. It's Vaikuntha. It's a spiritual world. But even there, sort of Damodar was telling Srivas Thakur that just one pebble in Vrindavan is more valuable than all the opulent palaces in Dwarka. Yeah, there's all these comparisons, of course, when it gets to that level. Anyways, the thing is that what we consider to be opulence in this material world, it's just a pile of dirt. The most beautiful building, the most beautiful Ferrari or Rolls Royce. It's just a cheap hunk of metal and plastic. The human body is a wonderful machine, but it's just a cheap assembly of dirt. That's all the body is. It comes from the dirt, the food that we eat. And so it's just it looks nice because it's covered by a thin layer of skin, but without the skin, no matter how beautiful the person is, male or female, without the covering of the skin, you don't want to go near that body. It's not beautiful anymore. It's just a pile of bones and guts and mucus pile and hair, muscle, stool, urine. Ooh, nobody wants that. But it looks nice because it's covered with the skin. At least it looks nice when you're young. It doesn't look so nice when you're old. Anyway, so there's nothing to be gained in anything in the material world. We've been, everybody wants it. Hiranyakashipu wanted it. Every conditioned soul on this planet wants that opulence, wants that so-called wealth, wants that. But there's nothing to it. It's not valuable. And we've had it all, but we've been in this material world taking one body after another for millions of lifetimes. We've been demigods, we've been bugs and worms in stool, we've been fish in the water, we've been up, we've been down, we've been over and out, we've been rich, we've been poor, we've been famous, we've been non-entities, we've been everywhere, we've done everything, we've had everything, every type of sense gratification that you can imagine, thousands, millions of times. We've had it all, we've done it all, we've been everywhere, we've done everything. And where has it gotten us? It's got, well, here we are. Here we are now. And maybe somebody here is rich, I don't know. But most of us are just, we're rich by a lot of people's standards. We're living in a beautiful temple in a nice city, nice by material standard city, and so we're rich in that sense. But none of it means anything. We're the only place. Everything we've been through for millions of lives has gotten us to this place, and all we have is all we have now is a material body. Thankfully, we have a little bit of intelligence that we can use to ask the important questions of life. Who am I? Why am I here? And not why is I don't know. Is is Elon Musk asking that? Who am I? Why am I here? What is the purpose of life? Is he asking those questions? Is the big, famous, beautiful movie star asking those questions? They should be. Their fame means nothing. Their beauty means nothing. Their so-called apparently unlimited billions of dollars means nothing. It's all just a pile of nothing. The only valuable thing is transcendental knowledge. And that's because by that transcendental knowledge, we get out of the material world and we go back home, back where you belong, back to Krishna in Krishna Loka. And that's valuable. That's where we belong. That's who we belong to. That's who we belong with. But in the material world, there's nothing desirable. Of course, we desire it. We desire everything. Not so much back and forth. It's distracting when you're doing stuff like that. And yeah, so just remember that. Remember that. There's nothing to be gained in this material world. You'll do whatever you're going to do. You'll go wherever you're going to go. You'll work however you're going to work. You'll have a family that you're going to have. You're going to do stuff in the material world. You're going to get stuff. You're going to get attached to stuff. Get attached to people. Get attached to your living situation. Get attached to your clothes, to your car. And it's inevitable. But with intelligence, you can understand all this is nothing. Ultimately, it means nothing. There's that line from, I forget, maybe Shakespeare, the devotees quote sometimes, and it goes like this: material life. He's not talking from the religious point of view, the spiritual point of view. He's just talking from the common sense, material point of view of some kind of realization or perception, intelligence. The quote is, material life, he doesn't use the word material life, but I'll use it. Material life is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, and signifying nothing. That's what it is. Like if you go out in the city in Boston or New York or Paris or Mumbai, there's people, millions of people rushing here and there, and it seems like, oh, there must be some really important stuff going on. Everybody's rushing around and working really hard, but it looks like it must be significant. But it's not. It's people are acting out their karma according to the demands of the material energy, the threefolds, the three modes of material nature. They're doing whatever they're forced to do by their karma. They're rushing here and there. It seems like something significant is happening, it is not significant. It is not significant. Don't be fooled with transcendental knowledge of Bhagavad Gita as it is, and the Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. That tells us what's significant. If you bring a flower to the temple for Krishna, that's significant. That's important. If you walk to the temple in the morning or any time, that's a holy pilgrimage. That's devotional service. If you sweep the floor, that's important. But if you get a degree at MIT or Northeastern or Oxford University, or you make billions and billions of dollars by starting some company, but that's not significant. It's nothing. It's nothing compared to sweeping the floor in the temple. I'm not exaggerating. These are not exaggerations. This is the literal truth, as we have heard in disciplic succession from Srila Prabhupada, from our present acharyas, spiritual masters in ISKCON, a degree from MIT, where the billions of dollars are significant if you use them for Krishna's service. Like so many scholars in ISKCON, there are so many brilliant, intelligent men and women, devotees, all kinds of degrees and all kinds of money, and and they use them in Krishna's service. And some of the early ones were Sariputta Prabhu and Swarup Damodar Maharaj and so many others. And today there are so many brilliant, incredibly genius, by any standards, genius devotees in ISKCON. All the devotees are intelligent. All the devotees are the most intelligent people in the world. But some who are like especially inclined in intellectual ways, and it's very valuable if you use it in Krishna's service. You don't use it in Krishna's service. It's whatever you have, material opulence, material knowledge, material possessions, material beauty, fame, whatever, renunciation, whatever you have, is all considered to be decorations of a dead body. And yeah, like when somebody dies in like in a place where they, like in the United States, somebody dies, they send their body to a funeral home, and in the funeral home they put the body back together if it's fallen apart, or they put all kinds of makeup on it to make it look okay, and they put the nice clothes on the dead body and comb the hair. They try to make it look nice, but it's all just what is it? It's a dead body. It's a dead body. It's going to be thrown in the ground in a couple of days. So, decoration, just decorating a dead body. So, but it doesn't matter if the soul is in the body or if the soul has left the body. The body is still a dead thing. The body is always dead. It just appears to be alive because the soul, the soul are occupying the body, so you make it appear to be alive. It's not alive. The body is a dead lump of matter. So whatever opulence or possessions or beauty we accumulate in this life, it is called decorations on a dead body. Yeah, it's not a nice thing. It's not a good thing. But if you use your body, there's famous people in ISKCON who have used their fame and their beauty, their power, their wealth to help spread Krishna consciousness. Then that's a wonderful thing. Early in the movement, when so many young women were ISKCON women were going out distributing books, and they could oftentimes do very well because they're young and beautiful, and people, especially men, would be inclined to give them some money and take books from them. And Prabhupada liked it. It's not like, or men, young men. There's one young man in this temple who's in the name of Ladvamsi. He's been in Ukraine temple for many years now, but he was a young, good-looking guy, and like kind of like baby face, like a sweet, innocent-looking young guy. He's just like anybody else, but of course, he had that appearance, and he'd go, and he's very outgoing and friendly, and people would just like him right away. Yeah, and then he would collect the most Lakshmi every day, and he would distribute the most books every day. So, okay, so he's young and good looking. If he hadn't become a devotee, he would have been doing some kind of sales and making hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars a year selling cars or houses. But he had that nature and that appearance. But he used his youthful, attractive qualities to serve Krishna, to distribute Prabhupada's books and collect Lakshmi. And he did it, and he was really good at it. So yeah, so youth, beauty, intelligence, fame, money, education, it's very, very good when we use it in Krishna's service. Other than that, it has no value. It's decorations on a dead body. And I just wanted to say one thing. I listened to a lot of Prabhupada lectures, and I had a habit quite a few years ago. I haven't done it in a long time, but I listened to a Prabhupada lecture or room conversation or morning walk and just write down point by point everything Prabhupada said in the lecture, and you'd just be amazed at how when you actually pay attention, and especially for me, it helps to like write down individual things that he says as he goes, and you just be amazed at the number of points Prabhupada makes it, and the incredible way that he makes his points and the variety of points that he makes. And I heartily recommend that everyone listen. Of course, you have to listen to your own spiritual master. You'll listen to other ISKCON devotees, great souls. There are so many. But if you don't specifically listen to Prabhupada lectures, you're missing out on the best thing. And there's no need to. You don't miss out on it. You don't have to listen to it, to Prabhupada, for an hour or a half hour. You can if you can, it's good. But if you just listen to him for 10 minutes, and especially, I recommend taking notes. I'm going to get back into that because I remember when I used to do it, how good it was. But just do it. I urge everyone to do it. Prabhupada is the founder, Acharya of the ISKCON movement. There is no ISKCON, there is no Hare Krishna all over the world without Prabhupada. There's no question of if Prabhupada hadn't come to the United States. He did come, and he's here, and ISKCON is all over the world, and is becoming more and more and more influential all over the world. But it's only because Prabhupada left India and came here and began the ISKCON movement. And now, 60 years later, it is everywhere all over the world. So, and it doesn't exist if without Prabhupada. So, of course, there's no question of without Prabhupada, but you have to remember that everyone here owes everything to Prabhupada coming. There's no temple here. There's no Srimad Bhagavatam. There's no flower garland. There's no Radha Krishna on the altar. There's nothing without Prabhupada. And Prabhupada.
Not all of the souls. Not all of the souls.
Yeah, none of us. None of us. So, remember that. That's what, and of course, read Prabhupada's books, but also listen to his voice, listen to his lectures, listen to his tone of voice. Listen to him with your ears. Okay, so stop there. Oh, anything, questions or comments? Yeah.
We'll hear it.
We'll hear it. Yeah. And you don't have to feel like you have to do it for a long time. If you can, that's great. But if you can only listen to Prabhupada for 10 minutes, it was like Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, if you listen to Prabhupada just some, you'll find it to be strikingly wonderful. Is that the phrase he used? Strikingly wonderful.
What does Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami say?
Chaitanya. करे विचार
Respect to Mahaprabhu's pastimes.
करे विचार करे पावे चित्त चमत्कार
It says
कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु दया करो विचार विचार करले चित्ते
पावे चमत्कार.
if you think you're intelligent, okay, everybody thinks they're really intelligent, especially these days. It's like everybody is like, oh, you can't imagine how brilliant I am. And so if you think that you're, and everyone has some intelligence, and if you think you're so smart, all right, read about Lord Chaitanya, and then you'll see what intelligence is. You'll see what philosophy is. Yeah, let's stop there. Oh, clearly it's just you.
हरे कृष्ण चैतन्य दया कर
कोई तो
बात करना